Alright, now, this is gonna be good for you as it was for me. This is about my hatchback, the first car I had in college, which we had it painted, it had a mini me, had some races, and had fun with it like that. And of course, show you the last rendition of the hatchback. And then of course, the D15b7 that I built in detail. And of course, we're going to talk about the Subic International Raceway, which no longer exists now, but it's a good memory for everyone. And here's the dyno of the engine until the final power. And of course, we'll talk about Batangas Racing Circuit, which is down south, and the map to see how it looks. It's actually really good. And of course, H3 Autoworks and Rurex back in Clark before even having the paddock building done. It was the beginning stages of the racetrack until now it's a world-class facility. Of course, I'm going to share about the awards that I won. And hey, not bad, right? And the keen eye would notice you guys would see me in this video, and hey, it'll be so cool. And of course, some surprises. Okay, here's my hatchback before the repaint. This is how it looked. I got it in 2003 on second year college because the first year I was still driving my dad's Beetle. This is in Subic Raceway and a few RWYB events I used to race because Formula One was my first love. So hey, circuit racing is good. And then also, this is the Subic International Raceway map. It's an old US naval base. So when they left, of course, it was a good to turn into racetrack. You see the lower part? That's the runway. So, hey, that's a good space. And that's the ocean. So, hey, naval base, remember? So, okay, on the picture of my hatchback, this one was over here at after turn 1. And then this one, it's at turn 12, the final turn before the start-finish straight. Looks cool, right? Hey, the members are always good and fun. And here's a few pictures of the Philippine National Touring Car Championships in Subic. And this is Jody Coseteng's SIR. It has been winning it a lot back then. Sometime around late 2004, I had it repainted at Bong's shop to a RAV4 2001 blue color, trying to mimic Electron Blue Pearl and at the same time, of course, get close to how the Subaru WRX looks because it looks really good, right? So here it is being painted at Bong's shop, the older shop before the proper booth. So, but hey, the painter keeps doing a great job. And here's the fender. Oh, you can see the shine is starting to come up, right? Yeah. And even behind the taillight, look, it's painted really well. So hey, it's gonna be good. The other reason I had it repainted was because I was starting to build my PH15, which is a D15b7, and convert it into an EFI like a D15b7. And mind you, this is late 2004. So hey, this was my actual first engine. So are you ready to check it out? All right, let's go. And by first engine, I mean the first engine I ever built from the ground up. And you can see here, notice the difference between then and now on the ports. And here I was playing with the lighting, trying to show the bowl and the short turn. So hey, you can see it's still pretty good, right? At the beginning stages. And of course, I'd like to think that I port way, way, way better now than before. But hey, that was my best back then. It didn't disappoint me. And a little trivia, the reason for the thumbnail OEM Superstar is because back in the forum days in Honda Club or HCP, I made a thread about this and I called it OEM Replacement Superstar. And look, that's why. The only OEM there is the timing belt. The rest is OEM replacements, even the valve seals. Crazy, right? And I was still doing this at the old house. This is the garage. I was cleaning the heads. and the block. And back then I was already porting, let's see how many, one, two, three, four, five cylinder heads at a time. And actually I ported a B18 or a B16 for a B18 all stock, right? And this 192 wheel horsepower, and that's stock everything, just the ported head. And actually they dynoed this with a freaking airbox. Hey, not bad, right, for 2008. Now, are you ready to see the finished paint job? Are you sure? All right, let's go. Bam! This is actually the back of Metro Walk. And if you remember, back then it was just open parking. There was no building, no call center, or no Home Depot and whatnot. It was this open, or spacious. Oh, and remember I mentioned earlier that I wanted to have that WRX look. So of course the wheels had to be painted. And don't laugh, guys. We just tried to reach the proper color. Well, it didn't become gold. It actually became like bronze. And of course, I wanted to be a little different, so we polished the lip. Little did I know it'll eventually become a trend somewhere else. So, hey, at least I did it first, and it wasn't too obvious back then, right? And of course, being coming out of college back then, I got to race in 2006 in Batangas. But, I had to sell my wheels and just borrow rims from Bong. But that was okay because I was planning to run 14-inch tires. So this way, the sock won't have a hard time. So hey, are you ready to check it out? This is in BRC. This is actually before I finished the D15b7. So I was still running a mini me on this one. You want to see it? Well then, that's it. That's a mini me. But when I switched to a D15b7, I moved to a cold air intake, because when you look at it, look at the intake and the velocity stack. When you turn into cold air, it's about the same length. So hey, I ran cold air. And this is Arnel, Bong's crew, and we asked permission to bring him because we were kids. We didn't know what to do, right? And hey, that's me. And look, Goodyear NCT3 tires, 14-inch. And to know the kind of guys we are, we always try to have fun. So back then we were mocking the tuner magazines that always had models laying on the car by the side. Yup, that's me on the floor, and that's John, an OG H3 on top of the engine. So, we were just making fun of all the poses and whatnot because I just won that event. So, hey, not bad. And here's a picture of us, the whole group. And hey, look, we were all just having fun, but I was already serious about engines back then in 2006. And once the engine was finished, I dynoed it, and look at the test that I did with the cold air versus no cold air. That's 121 versus with cold air, 127 wheel horsepower. That's why I run cold air, right? Someone asked me in the comments, I think, or private messaged me on the page about the exhaust side and what's proper. I ran here 2 and 3/8-inch pipings, and I moved to 2.5, and this is what I got, 129 wheel horsepower. So ever since then, I always ran 2.5-inch exhaust for even the 1500. Actually, now I'm still gonna run 2.5 inches MagnaFlow muffler soon. And before I talk more about Batangas Racing Circuit, remember this earlier picture when I showed you guys this before the repaint. Behind us, behind the picture, this is Macapagal Avenue where we used to hang out. And behind that is now Mall of Asia. Look, back then it was just a reclamation field. The mall was not there yet. Just like the earlier picture in Metro Walk, look, there's still no call center behind. So hey, how time flies, right? Oh, just wait until we show you Clark, our main racetrack, the Clark International Speedway, and we will show you how it is earlier on until how it looks currently. Now here's Batangas Racing Circuit in Batangas down south. It hosts the Southern Series of the National Drag Racing Championship event every year for the season. Here's the map. It is a better map, and you can see the layout is actually pretty good, right? And here's an actual aerial view, and look at the track is really good. It's nice. The left side, that's the drag strip, and you can see it's all straight, right? That's where we race. And on the pit lane on the back, you can see the back area of the racetrack. And this portion, I'll show you on the map. It's over here. Look. As you can see on this rendition, you can see on the left side, that's the main straight. And behind the pits is this area. The car is over here. It's actually a really good looking track. This actually hosted Asian Formula 3 back then, at least a leg was always raced here. I used to watch it on TV. And of course, I gotta be fair, Batangas Racing Circuit gave me this when IRM was doing events. This was back in 2005, as you can see, September 4. I won first place on their drag event. And this was running the Mini Me, D16A6 and VTEC head. I ran 15.06, so basically 15 flat. That's good. I mean, for back in the day. And then the following year, I won it yet again, the Class B drag racing. And this time it's May 14, 2006. So hey, that was fun, right? And that's why this is what I do. The fun in development is just there, and also the challenges. Now let's head to the current favorite, Clark International Speedway. This is inside former Clark Air Base of the US, and now it's an international airport. This is not in the airport per se, it's just within the same vicinity. And look, the racetrack is really good, right? The facility is just, top class. It hosts a lot of events, and even events within Asia. Like for example, like Formula 4 is pretty cool because it's like Formula Lights, and also a local Superbike event. Here, this is Formula 4. This is like a Formula Lights in the US. So it's pretty cool because it has the small engines, but hey, it's still a Formula car. That's cool, right? And kids can start going with this and get improved skills as they go. So it's actually a really nice and clean facility. This is where we mostly race, even drag race, because it's good to go here. Plus, it's been good to me. Look at that. And I'll show you guys a closer look here. This is December 13, 2008, second runner-up. And then January 17, 2009, second runner-up again. It's not bad, right? It's like the one event after the other. And then this is April 2009, another second runner-up. So yes, it's always second runner-up. So sue me. The cool thing with that is we were already racing there back then. Look, the building was still not existing yet. And this is Bong's legendary EF. And you can see at the background, the rebars are still being placed. And this one is Bong's EK9, the green one. And of course, the amazing masterpiece that Bong did, the H3 AutoWorks Rurex Integral race car. It still holds the record, 8.8 seconds, front wheel drive. Not all-wheel drive, front wheel drive. And this is Bong and me, and yeah, sorry, he was trying to give me a high five, but I was too busy being amazed. So when you think about it, Clark International Raceway or Speedway is a really pleasant and cool facility. But of course, it just has history with me because we started progressing there, and we'll be back racing there soon, and we'll let you guys go with us.